Hello, Ken. I hope everybody's doing well. I decided to do something a little bit different this time, rather than just doing a video of me playing games. I thought I would do a real life fan analysis of the this week's games. I did a Western Michigan video already, so make sure you check that one out as well if you like this one. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know if you like these little videos, if you want me to do more throughout the season. And hit that notification bell. If you're a fan of what I've got going on, then make sure you hit that, and then you'll be notified when I put out more videos. I do not have any insider information. This is all off the cuff, just a fan analysis, things I've heard. I do follow the teams, but obviously I don't have any inside track, or I'm not even doing a script. This is all just off the cuff fan analysis, just for fun. And I think after the week's games, I will go back and do a post-game little clip and just kind of go over where maybe I was right and probably where I was wrong. And I just thought it'd be fun and something a little bit different. Also, check out my college football revamped videos. I do have a Coach Mode Dynasty going on right now. I'm the offense coordinator for the Michigan Wolverines currently. And it's just fun little videos of what I got going on over there. I do use a custom playbook. I've made my own formations and plays, so come and check it out and let me know what you think. Let me know if you like that as well. Let's get to it. Michigan State, Northwestern. I'm just going to shrug. I don't. Very big question marks on both sides. Michigan State has turned over their roster to a level that you do not see in college football. The best comparison we have is in the NFL, when you can cut a bunch of dudes and pay for a whole new team, essentially. The Michigan State Spartans have basically done that at the college level with the transfer portal. I think they have close to, I don't remember the number exactly, upper 20s, somewhere close to 30, I think, transfers. Somewhere in the 20s, I believe. And that's a lot of guys to be bringing in the transfer portal alone. So I think you're going to see a lot of new faces, maybe a few old faces, but as far as what the team's going to look like, I have no idea. No idea. I mean, we know some of the basics. Offensively, they run a bit more of a spread type of offense. We saw a little bit of that last year. They plan on running a 4-2-5 defense. Again, we saw a little bit of it last year, but really, I think what you saw last year was simply the basics, because of COVID, they didn't get an offseason to really put their systems in place. So it was a lot of basics just to get their players out there and playing fast, because I think playing fast is more important than having a lot of different schemes. So I expect more variation in their looks this year, an expanded playbook for sure. But as far as how everything's going to come together, it's hard to say when you have that many new faces. It's going to take a few weeks, I think, before you really know what this team could be. You would hope that they survive and just find ways to win in the early games, because as the season goes on, you expect they're only going to get better. They'll get more comfortable in the system. With this many new guys, I'm sure at least a handful of them will be starters. They're going to have to learn the system, and they're going to have to learn how to play together. And sometimes that takes a while for that to happen, and I believe the only way that you get to that point is by playing games. So having Northwestern to open their season is tough, because it's always a tough game. It swings both ways. Sometimes Northwestern wins, sometimes Michigan State wins, but it's always tight. I expect a margin of victory of only 3 to 7 points. Honestly, I think it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire. And I think it's whoever comes closest to playing mistake-free football. Turnovers could end up being the doom. I know it's a cliche thing to say, but especially in this game where both teams are so close, it's all the little things, all the basics that matter, all the fundamentals. And if you get a little bit sloppy and you turn the ball over, or you're not firing on all cylinders, then it's going to be really, really difficult to win the game. Offensively, I think for the Spartans that I think Russo is going to be the starter over Peyton Thorne. They have not said who the starter is going to be at quarterback. They said they know who their man is, but they haven't released that publicly. Obviously, they don't want to give Northwestern any more ammo to prep for them. Understandably so. I do believe it'll be the Russo, the transfer from Temple, only because he's got pretty good numbers and a little bit more game experience than Peyton Thorne. And to be honest, I don't think the coaching staff ever bought into Peyton Thorne being the guy. That's why he kind of split time with Rocky Lombardi last year. So I'm going to go with Russo on that one. They have a stable of running backs with the transfers that came in that look pretty solid. You got the, I think it's Kenneth Walker out of Wake Forest. You got an Auburn transfer. You've got Collins, I think, is still there. So you've got probably 3 or 4 guys that you can feel good about giving the rock to. Now, where they have to be careful is playing too many of those guys. We saw at Michigan last year where they played sometimes 3 or 4 running backs in a game, and that's just not, it's too many. I personally believe that 2, 3 at the most is all you should have for your running back rotation in any one particular game. It is too difficult for a running back to find his rhythm and really get going to ripping off those big runs if he's only getting 5 to 8 snaps a game. That's asking a lot from your running back, because I feel like running back is a position where rhythm does matter, and the only way you're going to get into a rhythm is by getting those carries throughout the course of a game. So I think that they need to be careful that they don't try to rotate their running backs too much and divide up the carries between 4 guys. It's just too many in my opinion. Wide receiver, they got a couple of playmakers that I think could be dangerous with Naylor and Reed, especially the vertical threat, which also is why I think Russo will be the starter, because I think he's got a stronger arm than Peyton Thorne, and I think they're going to want to use Naylor and Reed, assuming those guys can stay healthy, to help stretch the defense out and help keep them honest. So I think that's kind of where they're at the skill position. Offensive line, is it fixed? I believe they got a couple of transfers in to help on their offensive line as well. I expect those guys to start, but the last probably 3 or 4 seasons, the offensive line has been a bit of a mess. It has not looked good, and it's hard for your offense to look good if you can't get any blocking. It doesn't matter how good your skill position is. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is if you can't block the defense. So hopefully they have figured that out, and hopefully those guys can gel as a unit quickly, and we'll see where that goes. Defensively, again, a lot of new faces. They brought in some transfers that look to be a pretty good fit, especially in their defensive backfield. They're running a 4-2-5. I think they got a couple of safeties that came in that will really help improve that defense quite a bit. I expect their defensive line to still be pretty solid. They got some players up front. I'm not really sure what their linebacking core is going to look like. Traditionally, it's been a strong position for the Spartans, but with a new coaching staff and new faces there, I'm not really sure what to expect. And going to a 4-2-5, I feel like the linebacker position is not as important as it was in the 4-3 quarters defense, but it's still going to be important. You only got 2 guys there manned up in the middle, and they've really got to stop any of the run game. Obviously, the defensive line will be able to help them accomplish that, because I feel like their defensive line is still fairly deep and fairly talented. So I expect that to be the strong point of their defense, but how it all comes together is going to be a big question mark. Northwestern has a bunch of question marks of their own, which is why nobody really knows what to expect out of this game. Northwestern graduated quite a few guys, or lost a few guys last year, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that they also have quite a few new faces offensively and defensively. So, but Pat Fitzgerald has been there for a long time. The advantage that their players have is they don't have to learn a new system. It is what it is. They're just going to continue to do their thing. And some years they look really, really good, and some years they don't look quite as good. Sometimes they have the talent, sometimes they don't. That's just the nature of where their program is at, but I believe I like Pat Fitzgerald. I think he's a solid football coach, and so I expect their team to play well. If nothing else, most of the time you can expect Northwestern to play pretty sound fundamental football. I feel like Pat Fitzgerald is a good coach at least getting his team to play fundamentally sound football and to know what they're supposed to be doing. And that can make them dangerous. So we'll just have to see how both of these teams come together. It's a tough game, but an exciting game for both teams to open up this way. It's this matchup is always tough, and for both teams to come in and have to open with this game with so many question marks is going to it's going to be hard, but it's also going to make it exciting for the fans, and I'm excited to see how things play out. So yeah, like I said, my only major prediction for this game is that it's going to be close. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I don't expect anybody to get out to any huge lead. And we'll just have to see how it all plays out. That's really all I've got on this one. So like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and let me know if you like this. If you're not really feeling it, if you're just like, I don't really care what this guy has to say about the game, I don't blame you. I just thought it'd be something fun, a little fan take on where I feel the programs are at, and maybe I'll keep doing this throughout the season if people like it. So that'll wrap it for this one. Remember, all love, all the time. Peace.